Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thor's Hammer, brought to you by BikeFans.com. I'm Viking Bob, and before I introduce my guests tonight, along with my partners, I'm telling you, I am jacked up for this upcoming game. I'll tell you why in a few minutes, but first of all, I'm drinking a Jack and Coke tonight. I got Georgia Vike with me and OBM. Mike Olson cannot be here tonight, so we are down a man, but the show must go on. We'll introduce our guest real soon, but first, here's Georgia Vike. What's up, buddy?
Hey, living the dream as always, Bob. Sitting down here drinking my sweet, savory beer-flavored water called Miller 64 because I get stuff done on the weekends when I drink this. But doing good down here, man. Same stuff, different day.
Very nice, very nice. What's up, OBM?
What's going on, my brothers? It is a beautiful, gorgeous night. I'm sitting out here having a nice Jack on the rocks, and you know, I gotta say, I just rewatched that Vikings game earlier today, and that was awesome.
Hey, did we win again?
We miss you. We'll get to the game soon. I'm a little excited about it, but Olsen, we miss you. We can't wait to have you back next week because this is going to be a fucking train wreck tonight, boys.
Hey, OBM, we're not getting paid for this. You don't need to kiss his ass.
Hey, man, I'm not getting paid for this? What? Seriously?
Check's been lost in the mail for a few months now, man. It's been lost in the mail.
I was wondering where it was. I thought the dog ate it or something. I wasn't sure.
I think the wife stole it, right? She went shopping that day?
Yeah, exactly. She did come home with a bag from Macy's, so, you know.
Oh, there you go.
I never know.
All right, everybody. I'm going to tell you now why I'm so pumped up for this show tonight. When we first started doing this show, I figured about halfway through the season, we might have a shot at the wild card, and I figured we'll probably start talking about college, upcoming draft, what changes we may need to make to become a playoff team next year. But you know what? F that. I'm pumped. We won last week. We're now first place in our division. I'm jacked up over here. Show changes. This week we talk about how do we win the Super Bowl.
Whoa. What are you drinking over there again, Bob?
Jack and Coke.
All right, understand.
I think my kid spiked it. No, honestly, guys, I'm super excited for this team now. I was hesitant coming in. I said 9-7. Granted, we could still end up that way. Tough schedule coming ahead. But honestly, this team has impressed me every week defensively. Offense seems to be getting a little bit better, I hope. They're not turning the ball over. Unfortunately, not getting turnovers on D. That would help make the game even easier. But 2 great wins in the last play of the game. I mean, what more can you say about that for excitement value? And Blair Walsh, the guy's made 15 in a row. This is a playoff team. Now, what do we do to go deep in the playoffs and possibly win the Super Bowl? Oh, f*** that. Never mind possibly. Win the Super Bowl. OBM, give us your thoughts on that one, buddy.
I'll tell you what, you know, I'm starting to become a believer here too, brothers. The defense, I just heard this week, from last year to this year, I mean, we talked about how much Zimmer changed that defense. I think we were ranked 31st 2 years ago when Leslie was there. And then we went from 31st to, I think, I want to say it was around 11th or 14th, or I don't know the exact number. I don't have them in front of me. But I just heard this week now we have the 7th ranked defense in the NFL. The 7th ranked defense. So this defense is improving every week. And that's what I really liked about this team. Zimmer has basically turned this team around in 2 short years. And it's he gets a lot of the credit. I mean, he's had the draft. We've gotten Kendricks. We've gotten Barr. We've gotten Trey Waynes, who's going to come along nicely. We're easing him in nice and slow. I love that. And now last week, you know, we have a couple of injuries. You know, we get rid of Hodges and we start going, oh shit, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, Chad Greenway looks like a monster out there last week. He was playing inside. He's playing outside. I think he led the team with 12 or 13 tackles. I mean, he looked like he was 28 years old again. So I love what we're doing defensively. Yeah, we got some question marks on offense. We got some questions about Teddy yet, but this is a team, in my opinion, we're poised to win now, and I cannot wait this Raiders game. This is going to be a fucking bloodbath on Sunday, guys. What do you guys think?
let's not forget about Brian Robinson. I think he had to play the game last week when he stayed at home and waited for Tavon Austin to come around. That was just a thing of beauty. You know, guys are not getting all the stats that they used to get, but they're staying home, they're making their plays, and they're staying where they're supposed to be playing, and the defense is unreal right now. I'm jacked up over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, and another thing I'm just going to throw it out there. The Rams are one of those teams, they like throwing those quick, short passes to Devon and Gurley, and they try doing, you know, they try to make a 3-yard pass into a 60-yard touchdown. And if you watch that game, the Vikings tackling on those plays, for the most part, was phenomenal.
Agreed.
So that's what's really, you know, it was, you know, you can watch some of the other Rams games, and they're masters of turning that 3-yard pass, quick screen, into big plays. And I'll tell you what, the tackling last week was phenomenal. So it's an exciting time right now, guys.
George Vike.
I think you guys are out of your effing mind talking Super Bowl right now. I'm excited about the win, but the talk Super Bowl right now, come on, man. You know, it's
where you at?
Yeah, that's right. We are, you know, it was a good win. The team's looking good. I'm excited that they're tied for first place right now in the division, which I didn't see. They have the third best, or tied for second best record in the NFC right now. I didn't see that happening. I'm excited, but let's not put the cart in front of the horse now. It's got a long season to go. We got a tough matchup coming up, but
it's been so long. Let's have some fun.
You know, we were an NFC Championship game a few years ago, and I've seen us lose enough of those to know that not to get my hopes up quite yet. So I'm being realistic. I'm excited to win. It was a tough game, but still, it's not like we went out there and beat the piss out of the Packers this week. So good win. I'm happy, but Super Bowl talk, you guys keep drinking, man.
All right, so next week when we do beat the piss out of the Packers, are you on the wagon with us?
As long as we beat the piss out of the Raiders this week.
All right. Actually, I don't mean that wagon. I mean the bandwagon.
Yeah, I got you, Bob. I got you. You know, it's going to take a few legit wins for me to get into, all right, it's go time here, but I still think we're a year away from being the team that, all right, watch out for these guys. They're going to come here and lay the smack down on some candy asses.
Well, I agree with you beginning of the season. I said 9-7, that this team is built for next year. But they have pleasantly surprised me what they have done on defense. And this team is built on defense and pounding the ball. That's what the team is. Pound the ball, kill the clock, leave a defense out there as fresh as possible for the shortest amount of time so that they can make the plays that they need to make and get the ball back to the offense to score on a short field. Textbook football. I love it.
Textbooks also means not running on it first down every single time, except for when you have your backup quarterback and then you decide to do a trick play with like a minute and a half left in the game. Because we have a long way to go. But
that was trickeration.
That was
fooled everybody, including Sean Hill.
Yeah, that was you know, that's football coaching 101. Don't ever put a backup in there and try some trick shit, you know, with a minute to go in the game, in a game that you need to win.
All right, so OBM and I are on the wagon right now, and you got to run alongside. All right, that's okay.
I'm skitching right now.
All right. You can ride with the horses in the back then.
Exactly.
Hey, at this time, we're going to do something a little bit different than we normally do. We are bringing our guest on. And once I introduce him to you all, you understand why. This guy has some great insight on football. And, you know, we've invited him before, and finally his schedule has freed up. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you NFL Draft Guru. What's up, Guru?
How's it going, my brothers?
Doing very well.
For a long time, so happy to finally be able to spend an evening with y'all.
It's our pleasure to have you with us.
Hey, about time you got on this damn thing.
But we've only been waiting like 2 months. Come on, man.
I know I've talked to him more drunk off air than I have on air, so.
Well, you can't get drunk on this show with 64, so you're all set.
I'm not saying I was drunk.
Oh, all right. Well, Guru, you know the rules. What are you drinking?
I got some local Surly Oktoberfest going up here. I know it's a little after the season, but hey, it's some good stuff. I had to buy an extra case before it was off the shelves.
That sounds pretty good. Surly, you must be kidding.
It's kind of weird when we have other people from Minnesota come on. We can actually pronounce the words to the whatever they're drinking, and it's only like two things. Unlike when Olson comes on, it's an 18-word thing with some Bach latte garbage, double pickle Bach,
With a
good
twist.
stuff. Yeah, that's right. Good stuff. That's Surly there. That's a good old Brooklyn Center company. Represent my hometown there.
It's some good stuff. Got to drink the local brews around here. You can't beat them.
Yeah, right on.
Hey, give us your take on the Vikings team this season. Where are we? Are we where we're supposed to be? Are we ahead of the game? Take it from there.
You know what? It's kind of hard to say where we are right now, just given the strength of our schedule up to this point. The Vikings have taken care of business outside of the 49ers game. I think when you look at where we are now, I think it's probably a little better than most people anticipated this early in the season. I think sitting at 6-2, the Vikings have definitely positioned themselves for success in the long run. But really, before we get ahead of ourselves and consider this, a 9-win, 10-win playoff team, I think the Vikings and Zimmer really want to keep it simple. Right now, we're 6-2. We're a 6-win team. We go in and beat the shit out of the Raiders. Guess what? We're a 7-win team. Why look ahead right now? We're a young team. We can win now, but why should we look ahead at this point?
I agree 100%. 100%.
I agree to take it one game at a time, but we're going to have some fun in the show. You can't just do game by game. We're not. I won't mention Belichick's name.
I'm just a boring guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do think we positioned ourselves for success. I think really with a young team, there's going to be growth spurts along the way as long as kind of some continued growing pains. I don't think we've probably reached the growing pains quite yet throughout the season, but I do think this is a playoff team.
Can I ask a question here, Bob?
Absolutely.
Guru, do you think these two knuckleheads are getting way, 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 way beyond overconfident, I should say? Do you think these guys are out of their effing mind right now?
I don't know, man. I would not even say the word Super Bowl right now and associate it with the Vikings.
Thank you.
It is not out of the realm of possibilities, but I do not think we should go jump. That's like putting, all four wheels ahead of the wagon.
Hey.
Well, I'm having fun tonight, okay? You guys have all heard me the past 8 or 9 shows that we've done. I've always been very neutral and saying this game we probably will lose. Like the Broncos game, I thought we were going to lose, and I was right, sadly. Obviously, I thought they were going to kill the Niners. I thought the Rams game was going to be a 3-point game. It could have gone either way, and it did. I'm not insane going the Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl, but tonight I'm having fun. This is a midpoint of the season, and we're 6-2. I mean, are we going to go 12-4? That would be awesome, but I don't think it's going to happen. But we're having fun this show. We're going to mix it up a little bit, keep it fresh, and have a blast. Super Bowl or bust, baby.
It's crazy. It's crazy as it sounds, guys. I mean, you look at this. I mean, this Raiders game is going to tell us a lot about this team. I mean, Teddy does need to play a little bit better. I mean, one concerning stat, obviously, is it seems like any time we get inside the 10-yard line, we struggle. That has to change if we're going to go to the playoffs and win some games and get to the Super Bowl. So this Raiders game and then the Packers right after that, I mean, we're going to find out a lot this week. We go into Oakland, beat Oakland, and Oakland right now, it's no joke. I mean, they're playing good football. They're a solid team up and down. Khalil Mack, Alden Smith, I mean, those guys are playing well. So it's going to be a challenge. But if we come out and we win this game, all bets are off, boys. All bets are off because Zimmer has these guys focused right now. I love it. It's a good feeling, and it's something we haven't felt since Farley.
Well, to me, this is an AFC game, our last one. If we're going to lose a game the rest of the season, this is the one that we can afford to lose. It doesn't affect us playoff-wise. So this game, to me, it's not as important as the following week or the week after that, and so on and so on. This game, it's important that we want to win, but if we do lose it, it's not as bad as if we lose to the Packers. If we lose to the Packers, it's a 2-game swing. So that's my thoughts.
Very true. No, I think that, like you said, this is an AFC game. I think after this game, really all the games from there on out, at least for the next 4 games, really count, because not only are they NFC games, but they're all teams that we could be in potential tiebreaker situations with, and those head-to-head matchups are going to come in to be key.
Agreed. This is going to be a fun ride, gentlemen. I can't wait for the next 8 weeks of football, and then further. So,
this further stuff, you got to stop that, Bob. You got to stop.
Oh, we're going to the playoffs, baby. We're going to the playoffs.
It's kind of like he stops himself just because he doesn't want to go there, but then he just goes there.
Oh my God! It's you're freaking me out here tonight, Bob. It's like, I don't know what's in that drink you got there in your hand. I understand, being excited about a squad after, the disease squads we've had for the past couple of years, but 6-2 is not Super Bowl, homeboy.
Hey, teams have won it at 9-7.
Yeah, but we're Viking fans, Bob.
Yeah, better point right there.
We're Viking fans, Bob.
Patriots lost it at 16-0. Ha 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 ha! I love it. Sorry.
I remember a 15-1 Viking squad too. So come on, let's keep it real now.
Yeah, so it doesn't make a difference what your record is, how you're playing, and how you're playing now.
Do you think we go into Foxborough right now and beat the Patriots?
We wouldn't have to.
Do you think we could right now go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots?
I don't think our offense would match them point-wise. I think we would hold the Pats under 30, which I believe is what they are averaging right now offensively. Our defense is better than that, but I don't think our offense would score enough.
I'm with you. Let's not talk Super Bowl yet.
Hey, we got to go there and say we win it.
If we lose one, you're going to kill me, man.
I'm suicidal, I know. Well, I told you, my niece, she's hired the Vikings front office for 4 pallbearers for my funeral if the Vikings do not win the Super Bowl. So they can let me down one last time.
Yeah. It's Bob. It's being a Vikings fan. It's like being a Cubs fan. Some people take pride into that. You know what? I've been with them through nothing. They've never won anything. I'm still a fan of theirs. When they actually win, trust me, that's be the first time I've ever been brought to tears because of a victory. And don't get my hopes up. Don't cock tease me. We're not going there tonight.
I've been there before. 2004, my Red Sox.
Yeah.
I was out till 2 days later, still celebrating, I think. I forget. So I'm not kidding you. In 2007, they won the World Series again. The final out, I watched at home on TV. Strike 3, Red Sox win the World Series. I watched for the next 20 minutes as them celebrate and poured champagne all over themselves. I went to bed. It's like, we won one in my life. I'm happy. Then now I got 3. And 2013 was much better than 07 for me. I think because of the Boston Marathon bombings and all that stuff that went on. It was a little more personal, but 2007 didn't really mean much to me. It was a great World Series championship, but, if the Vikings win 5 Super Bowls, I'll still never forget number 1.
Like I said, I remember the Twins won it. I was 11 years old and I was 15 years old, and the Twins won in 87 and 90 and 91. And I was excited, but nothing like, I was too young yet to understand what pain was all about with a sports team. So right now I'm getting there with the Vikings, going on 39 years here of just terrible losses. So when people say Super Bowl, shut up. Don't bring me there. You're not playing with my emotions. Okay? Just stop the pillow talk.
Well, I remember the last 3. I was old enough for that. Thank God. I mean, I was old enough for the first one, but I was way too young to watch. Thank God. But speaking of age, guess who hits the big 5-0 on Sunday?
Your
That's
wife.
right. No, she'll be hitting now, right?
Hey, 50 on Sunday. Well, early happy birthday, Bob. And I got to ask you guys a question about last week. With that game, did you guys? Am I the only person who thought that the second Teddy got knocked out, the game's over. We're going to lose this damn thing.
Yep.
Am I the only one who thought that?
Nope, not at all.
OBM, what do you think?
I got to be honest. Sean Hill looked all right in the preseason. When he came in last week, I was just like, what is going on with this dude? I mean, you could totally tell he wasn't in sync with any of the wide receivers, and it really, honestly, I thought we were going to lose that game when he came in. When Teddy went out, I'm like, we're in big trouble here. I had some friends over sitting outside barbecuing, having a few cocktails, and when Teddy went down, we all looked at each other and went, uh-oh. I mean, it did not look good. More surprising now. I'll kind of turn this around on you guys because we haven't discussed it yet, but it sounds like Teddy's going to be okay this week, so that's the good news. But what did you guys think about the Vikings kicking the ball to start, taking the win? I mean, obviously, it was a smart move, but I'll tell you what, there's not many times where you see a team decide to kick the ball.
Brass balls, OBM. Brass balls.
Big brass balls, and this is
you know what?
It's a rule change.
With them. It's just, you look at Zimmer and you look at Frazier, and it seems like Zimmer is just so intelligent and knows the game so well, and he knew that. I think I heard after that only 3 points had been scored against the Wind. So obviously this guy is, on a different level than we are, and what Frazier and the previous staff was on. But what's your guys' take? What do you got, Guru? What'd you make of that?
You know what? Zimmer has a lot of trust in that defense, and I think not only was it the decision for the game, but it was almost a season-changing decision to say he's all in on this team. I think, obviously, as a player and from a team perspective, obviously you have a coach who's very focused, but, I mean, he's saying, here we go, I'm all in this team, now prove it to me that you're all in, stop them.
I like that in a coach. And if I'm a player, I like hearing that he's fully invested in me and the rest of the guys on D with me. I love that. The guys, I think the rule change had a lot to do with it too. Before it was sudden death. Now all you do is hold him to a field goal, and man, that mega foot there, whatever his name is, mega leg, man, that's 60.
Zerline?
Yeah. Oh my God, he crushed that ball. I think it was good for 75. I think.
He has a big leg.
Oh, you ain't kidding. That Zimmer trusts the defense to hold him to at least 3 to get the ball back, and took the odds that Walsh could hit with the wind. But the defense has played incredible in overtime. 3 plays, I think 2 of them were loss of yard. And we get the ball back, and Peterson, Blair Walsh project. Starting to love that guy again. It's a good feeling. 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row. The final play, won by Walsh. 15 straight, baby. Blair Walsh, I love you, man.
Did you top that after week 1?
Confidence building.
Yeah. It all starts with confidence.
This just shows what idiots that we are. Week 1, we're talking, as I was saying, we lose to San Francisco, we're done, a 6-win team. Hey, we're a 6-win team right now, so I'm not wrong yet, but I should be. Week 2, we're talking yips, we're idiots, people. We are idiots, but you know what? We're having fun being idiots, but.
Well, that's our show then.
That's right. I think it's have a great night. It's good time with you all. No.
I don't think it changes my opinion, but I probably wouldn't spend big money on a kicker before the season starts, but I'm happy it's worked out.
Me too. I keep going back to the fact that, like I say, I'm a UGA homer, and they drafted Blair Walsh. I was like, what? When we had Longwell on the team, I was like, what are they doing? So I'm not all in on Blair Walsh, just to the fact that I'm not all in on any kicker. I don't care where he's from. I don't care if he's my nephew. I'm not in on him. It's a kicker, but I am pleasantly surprised the way he's done it. Did his first 2 years, and not so much last year and the beginning of this year, but the kid's earning every nickel he's making.
Definitely.
All right, gentlemen, what do we have for picks for this week? Vikes game. We'll start there. Then we'll move on to the NFC North. We'll start the Vikes. I'll go last. Our guest can go first. Mr. Guru. Hey.
I'll take the Vikings. I think it's going to be a mix of the Vikings offense showing up and the defense being able to stop the Raiders a little bit. I'll take them 24-17.
Nice pick.
Mm-hmm.
OBM, Georgia Vike wants to go second.
No, it don't matter to me because,
Go right ahead. You said, you're next.
No, we broke in the stat earlier this week on I'm 5-0 when picking against the Vikings, and 1-2 when I pick for the Vikings. So, this week Oakland's kicking our ass again. This week,
I love you, brother. We take for the team.
34-17, Oakland beats that ass again. They're in the black hole.
So really, you are on the Super Bowl wagon.
There he goes.
Oakland's gonna whoop our ass this week. Oh, yeah, Amari Cooper, he's gonna light up Xavier Rhodes. It's going down.
Arizona Vice Girls gonna let up your ass.
Hey, I haven't been right yet when I picked against the Vikings, so let's see what happens.
OBM.
Oh, man, you're showing me TV. I'm going to go. This is going to be a tough one. I think I got to go with Oakland here. I think Oakland's going to win, probably because we're going to stall out inside the 10-yard line and settle for 3 instead of 7. I'm going to say Oakland 24-20. Oakland.
Not me. I'm on that bandwagon. If they win this week and next week against the Packers, I'm driving that fucking bandwagon.
You will. You definitely will.
26-20 Vikings, baby.
Oh, goodness.
Suck it, Al Davis.
In your grave.
Drink the gravy. Drink the gravy, Al.
You're taking a shaft in the gravy, brother.
Well, Bob did say earlier tonight that he does not like black holes, so whatever that meant, I'm not sure, but, figure it out for yourself. He does not like the black hole.
I don't need to know about that.
Astrology, I guess. Astronomy, yes. What it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, astronomy.
I'm afraid to lose my Milky Way.
Where's Olsen when we need him? Come on.
Yeah, we don't need the voice of reason right now. He's going to listen to this and go, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll be getting a phone call tomorrow.
6 a.m. your phone's ringing tomorrow, Bob.
Bob, your show's on suspension immediately.
We get warning points for the show, huh?
Thanks, OBM.
Hey, you know what? Since Bob's smoking the peace pipe over there, Lions Packers, who are you going with, Bob? Oh, this is a tough one. Be careful, buddy.
I gotta go with
Tie game?
I didn't think of that. No, Packers are gonna destroy them. I hope I'm wrong though. Packers are at home. They got to do something. I mean, the past 2 weeks they've been not too good at all. But they came alive the second half last week and almost came back all the way. I think they may have turned that corner. Hopefully not. I would love to be wrong on that one, guys, obviously. But I think they just destroyed Detroit. Detroit's mailing it in.
I agree with you, Bob. Green Bay is, I believe they're playing at Lambeau this week, correct?
Correct.
It's as much as I hate Green Bay and as much as they suck, because no team sucks more than Green Bay because they suck just for no reason, just because they suck. Okay, Sassy, you got that?
They suck.
Yeah, they suck. Packer love, whatever that is. No. This week, Green Bay, they played 2 undefeated teams in a row, both on the road. They lost them both. But I think Green Bay's offense is just way too good to lose this game at home to Detroit. It's been, about 20 years since Detroit's won at Lambeau Field?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the Packers are going to get rolling again. I mean, they're still a force to be reckoned with. I mean, their offense isn't the same without Jordy Nelson, but they're going to have no problem handling the Lions at home. I mean, just taking care of business.
Yeah, it's Green Bay. It's you look at it. Their offense is, as long as they got Rodgers back there, they're a well-oiled machine. And even with the lazy crap they got going on Starks, it doesn't matter who's back there. You can throw a Trent Richardson back there; they're still going to do just the same. So Green Bay rolls, man.
All right, so we all agree that Green Bay kills Detroit?
Yeah, we did get OBM's opinion, even though he kind of sounded on the line earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, you guys all need to slow down your drinking. I'm calling the Lions to win this one, baby.
You got to cut down your drinking, brother.
Stay away from that peyote out there.
Are you freebasing that whiskey out there?
Listen, man, the Lions have to win this game. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a little psychic here. Maybe I drank too much.
Psychotic, more like it.
Exactly, Bob. Psycho.
That Lions 24-20 this week. Pack lose 3 in a row. Thanks for playing, bitches.
Obi, I'm going to put a 20 spot on that.
No, I don't.
Not as confident as past week.
What are you hitting the peyote out there, big guy? Does it?
Well played, GV, but negative. I do not want to do that. No, there's something about the Packers right now that they're just not quite clicking. Yeah, they did almost come back last week, and that was impressive. I think they were down 27-7 or something like that, 27-3. But the bottom line is the Lions have to win at some point, and the Lions aren't very good. But the Packers right now, I think maybe they're not just quite right there right now. So
I can tell you what's wrong with the Packers.
What's wrong with the
I think
Packers?
the Lions are pulling the upset. That's my upset pick right there. Lions over the Packers, 24-20. Write it down.
OBM, let me tell you one thing. My favorite play of the week last week actually was Aaron Rodgers. Last week he made a great play when he grabbed that little notepad and slammed the thing on the ground. That was my favorite play of the week right there.
Oh, actually, let's stay on the Packers, guys. Not figuratively.
Hey, Bob, this is a
Hey, Bob, slow down.
PG-13.
All right, not figuratively. Let's stay on the team called Green Bay Packers. There we go. What happened on the sideline last week with Clinton Dixon, whatever his guy's name is, Raji, and Peppers? What happened over there? Are they fighting still? Are they kiss and make up?
They all kissed and made up, man. That's just sideline pillow talk over like we were talking before. It's all poppycock. Teams, they're getting pissed off. They lost 2 in a row. When's the last time Green Bay lost 2 in a row? These guys are getting upset.
Well, hopefully it's 3 in a row and then 4 in a row the following week. I don't care what happens this week.
I just hope it's 1 in a row after next week. That's all I care.
I want the Vikings to destroy them. It beat the crap out of Rodgers, and I want to see Teddy Bridgewater go up in his post-game conference with a packet of crackers and some cheese whiz.
I want him to spell relax after the game, too. Yeah.
With a Mountain Dew in his hand or something, a Mellow Yellow.
Exactly. Hey, Guru, you hear anything out of Green Bay there? What's going on?
What's going on in Green Bay? Well, I've never heard anything out of Green Bay, but I can tell you there's 2 things that are going on that are not working in the Packers' favors at all. One, lack of Jordy Nelson. Not that they don't have receivers to go around, but guess what? Can't take the top out of the defense. There goes a lot of quick scores that they had last year. The 60, 70-yard touchdowns. Rodgers puts the ball on the money and Jordy gets open. Take those away, slows them down a little bit. Not quite as explosive. Second one, that's not as well known. Last year, Lacey running up the middle averaged 5 yards a carry. 5 yards a carry. This year,
5 feet.
3.
It's about 5 feet for the guy, I think.
Yeah, I wish it was 5 feet.
No, Lacey running ball this year, about 5 feet a carry.
Yeah, he's easier to jump over than run around these days, I'll say that. Green Bay, Jordy Nelson was a huge hit with them, but I think, honestly, I know we're still talking about the Packers here, but the second Denver beat them, they laid out a blueprint on how to beat them. And I think Carolina with a good defense saw that, said, we're going to do the same thing. So I think right now the Vikings, Zimmer's look at that and say, how are you going to beat these guys? And I think good defenses will knock Green Bay out of their realm. I think a good defense will take Green Bay down this year.
I do agree with that.
Me too. 3, 4, whatever it is. I agree.
Wherever we're at.
Yeah. Like you said, 2 great Ds in a row have stopped the Packers. They play Detroit this week. That's not a great D. But they face another great one next week called the Vikings.
Hey, it's the matchup we've all been waiting for all season.
I haven't been this excited for, obviously we're looking ahead. I'm not going to go that far because we'll talk about it next week, the death. But this is the most I've looked forward to a Packer-Viking game since the last game I actually went to is Favre's return to Lambeau Field. I was out there for that game, and the atmosphere around there was electric. And I can imagine if we both win this week, or we go in that thing, tied for first place still, the electricity is going to be huge at TCF there.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, being from up here in Minnesota, I mean, everyone's ready for it.
Better be.
Hey, let me ask you guys this. Rousey's fighting tomorrow night. How about this for the undercard? BJ Rousey versus Clinton Dix. That would be an amazing undercard fight.
Would that be an exclusive for Packer owners? the shareholders?
Shareholders only.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So there'd be 50,000 inbred people out there watching the game.
Hey, I
All
think you
same
just
family?
came across a new website there, shareholdersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely.
That's awesome.
You don't have to be lonely.
But I would actually order that fight. If that occurred, I would pay a lot of money to see BJ Rousey versus I think that would be. Good thing they got separated there, because was about to pull some crazy shit on him, I think.
I'd rather watch Greg Williams versus Mike Zimmer in a cage match.
Oh!
Same here. Same here.
I'd pay a week's salary to see that.
Same here. The last NFC game of the North, you get the Bears at the Rams. What do you guys think of that one?
I think I should take a nap during that game. Rams by about 10.
Well, the Bears have kept decent the past couple of weeks, but I think the Rams will play Ram football, and someone's going to pay for their loss last week. It's going to be the Bears.
I told you last week when I picked the Bears to win, because I said I thought that the Bears are better than we all thought they were. This week, the Rams are a lot better team than the Bears are. I see the Rams winning. The Rams need this win bad. Now that, after losing us last week, they're down at 4-4 now. They need this win to stay in playoff contention. They are a better team than Chicago is. So I'm thinking the Rams are going to go in there and kick their ass this week.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, I think the Rams should win the game, but I mean, I think the Bears, a lot of people think they're better than we think, just because I think they have a good coordinator on the offensive side. Adam Gase put together a pretty good game plan. I mean, John Fox has owned that defense, but I mean, just personnel-wise, they don't even line up all that well against the Rams.
One thing I was hoping to see this week, which we're not going to see this week, because Long on St. Louis is hurt, is to see him match up against his brother in Chicago. But since he's injured, we're not going to see that battle happen. But I was really looking forward to seeing that.
Hey, don't worry, ESPN will still be all over the storyline.
when they're not talking about
Fox.
Yeah, when they're not talking about LeBron James and Steph Curry.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm so sick of it.
They'll squeeze a couple minutes in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, what do you guys got for upsets of the week?
Don't go to me, man. I got to find the schedule here before I start giving you any upsets.
I think OBM's going first. I went first last time.
Yeah, baby. Lions over the Packers. Gonna happen.
That's all you care about is those Lions over the Packers, huh?
Stick on the Lions, huh?
I'm telling you, just a gut feeling. I think Pack not who we thought they were. The Lions are gonna win that game. It's gonna be close, of course, and the Lions, they'll probably lose. But just something tells me they're not quite out of it. And, looking at these other games, there's really nothing else I see that catches my eye. So I got to go with my hate of Green Bay. Go with the Lions here. Go Lions!
You're not picking Carolina over Tennessee?
I am not.
All right, I'll go second then this week, and this one I don't know if it's really an upset, but what the hell? I'm gonna go Washington over New Orleans. I think the Skins to win that game.
Not a bad choice at all. Well, I'll take the matchup since it's happened before. I'll go Giants over Patriots. The Giants will spread them out and take advantage of their quarterbacks a little bit. It just depends how many points they can put up. It'll be a shootout.
Coughlin has Belichick's number. He does. The guy knows him. They coached together at one point, but Coughlin knows the Patriots, and I think that wouldn't be a bad call this week, and I actually hope it happens.
No, I think it's going to be a good game. I think Coughlin's not scared of Belichick. I think that's probably a big reason. He's not afraid that Belichick's going to be doing something and overthink things.
So you tell me right now Tom Coughlin's not Rex Ryan?
Basically, yeah. Polar opposites.
Oh yes. Oh yes. What do you got, Bob?
Well, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Miami over Philadelphia. I don't know why. I just them.
You don't want to go with Manziel over Pittsburgh?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. If you were playing quarterback, maybe Manziel. No.
What about that? What about that juggernaut Dallas versus Tampa Bay? That looks like a pretty sweet game there this week. Woo!
I got that plugged in for my 1:00 game to watch. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I think I'll be taking out garbage at that point.
So you're taking out the Dallas 10 big game, huh? That's the garbage.
Exactly. That game looks terrible. The Carolina game, that looks like so one-sided. There's really not a lot out there this week. Jacksonville, Baltimore, that looks like a Norfest, and Kansas City, Denver, yeah, whatever. Arizona, Seattle might be a good game. Just due to the fact that Seattle's kind of rebounded a little bit, and Arizona's got a pretty good offense. So I'd be interested to watch that game a little bit. So, and wasn't the last team to beat Seattle in the regular season? Wasn't that Arizona?
Ooh, couldn't tell you.
Prior to this year?
Yeah, that was
prior to this year.
Yeah, prior to this year. But that should be a good game, and I'm pulling for Arizona. Don't get me wrong, but it should be a decent game. But it's a good, actually, Sunday night game.
It should be a good game.
Question for you guys: should we be pulling for Arizona?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. Arizona. Arizona's going to win the West.
I'd Arizona than Seattle. Man. I'd rather play Arizona any day over Seattle, just especially in there. Seattle, that home field out there, they're just, if they get in the playoffs again, which hopefully they won't, but they're just a tough team to beat at home. Arizona is beatable at home.
No, I agree with that. I wouldn't be so quick to count on Seattle, though, for that NFC West championship. I don't think they'll rack up the wins to be able to get that home field advantage that they've coveted the past few years. But their schedule down the stretch, if they can handle their business in the NFC West, they kind of have it easy outside of that. Well, I shouldn't say that since they play the Vikings. But
I was going to say, don't they play the juggernaut known as the Vikings?
Who?
Drink up, Bob.
What's a Viking?
I'm drinking the gravy, buddy. I'm drinking the gravy.
I knew you'd come along.
Salty.
Hey, OVM, did you move to another room?
Yeah, no. I'm tell you what, guys. As crazy as it sounds, I think Arizona's going to win that division. They're going to beat the Seahawks this week, and they're going to take control of that division. I know Guru kind of thinks Seattle might, they stick around. They could easily be 2-6 right now. Easily. So, be sitting there right now at 4-4. That's bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Well, I don't know. If Arizona wins, that basically keeps them ahead of the Vikings. And if Seattle loses, they basically could be done from a wild card spot. But if Seattle wins, they're still in contention of the playoff. And if we win and Arizona loses, we potentially go ahead of them. And we go ahead of them with a win, we are now the number 2 seed, and we'll get a bye. So it's kind of what I'm thinking.
All right, as far as the game, with them, I'd rather see Arizona win because I can't stand Seattle, so that's the only reason.
All right, because beginning of the show, I said we're gonna mix it up this week because I'm all jacked up over here. One thing we didn't do, we'll get to now, is our guest. Let's learn some stuff about him. Guru, tell us about yourself. How you got your name? I can only guess. Why you're a Viking fan, and anything else you want to throw at us.
Thanks for giving me the floor for a second. So, nope, NFL draft guru, accountant by day, football Mongol by night, I guess. Probably kind of working a 2-job situation right now, trying to get my foot into the NFL. Having some success doing that. I mean, it's kind of a long and winding road, but I grew up in the Minnesota area, so obviously a Vikings fan, still committed to the home team no matter what. But, how I came up with the NFL Draft Guru name, it's pretty simple, actually. Wanted something original that wasn't already on Twitter. So, not too much of that one. But, kind of made a name for myself on Twitter a little bit, sharing some agent connections and whatnot. But, got invited over to Vike fans, kind of talked about that. And I mean, got a little bit of feedback from NFL teams that's chilling out on Twitter probably isn't the greatest idea. So kind of pulled away from that one a little bit. But really, I just kind of work on some independent projects for some NFL teams, generally for some executives and player personnel members. And I mean, you can kind of pick up a little information through that. So I mean, kind of casting my net wide, but definitely this off season, I think I'm probably going to be pretty close to having almost a full-time position with a team.
Very nice.
Can't name that team. Not the Vikings.
Hey, just a thing. We'll tell you the same thing we told Cactor Vike when he was on. Dude, you can put this show on your resume anytime. Okay?
That's right.
Just say, hey.
I will. First thing, I'll put a link to it.
That's right. I was on Thor's Hammer one time. You're in. You're in.
Right.
I know you're into this a lot, and I know there's a lot of people on the board who think, that you get, oh yeah, BS, he doesn't know what he's talking about, this guy doesn't know this, doesn't know that. I call BS in that because I know there's a lot of inside stuff that we discuss at times that you're accurate on. In a Twitter world the way it is, like you got off Twitter, a lot of people say, yeah, I just read that on Twitter, but you're breaking this stuff like moments before that's happening because it's like a news now type of atmosphere. It's like people in the locker rooms tweeting about the Des Bryant thing the other day, and he comes back in the locker room pissed off that he already saw it on Twitter. So what do you got anything to say to these people who keep saying that, you're full of crap, you know what you're talking about? I just saw that on Twitter. It's like, well, he actually said it before it came out on Twitter, but it's a bang bang type of atmosphere. You got anything to say to these people?
I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Those were my original thoughts. Originally, I was just like, screw you, but I kind of have zoned out on that one a little. I mean, I don't listen to that all that much. I mean, I'm not in the business to break news to begin with, regardless if I got the information first or second. I mean, I could really care less. I mean, when it comes to Vikings news, I'm obviously going to share it as soon as I know because, I mean, it's very important to the people on this board who are so, dedicated to the team, and I want them to be able to share that with me. But really, when it comes down to sharing information and getting these inside sources, I mean, a lot of it just kind of bounces around from team to team. I mean, when it comes to free agent deals, trades, anything, even waiver moves. I mean, the teams are still seeing this stuff, an hour, 2-3 hours before it even hits Twitter sometimes. I mean, so it takes a little bit for someone to leak it. So, I mean, there's been stuff before too. I mean, I don't share everything, obviously, I hear, but I mean, I don't really listen to the people who call BS on me because it really doesn't matter all that much considering what my goals are.
Have you ever been called up with a team or any other team and someone said, shut your mouth?
Yep. I've been told not to share certain things, and you know what? I've never shared a single thing. I mean, I'm a pretty loyal person. If you tell me not to share something, I definitely won't, because kind of the road I'm trying to actually get into the NFL, the last thing I want to do is to ruin a connection or something to violate someone or put them at any position of risk.
But you still have me on speed dial, right?
Absolutely, Bob. I have your number.
Absolutely.
How's the mouth feeling over there? I heard you had some medical issues.
Yep, had a little bit of jaw surgery. Had some plates put in a few years ago when I had this jaw advancement surgery, which was no fun to begin with. But got those taken out, which is actually almost worse than the original surgery. So, but yeah, I'm doing good now. I mean, just any type of surgery, regardless of what it is, not what anyone would consider fun.
I can't imagine that being any fun whatsoever.
Surgery's never fun.
Nope. I mean, I was texting Bob the other day, and I was telling him, oh, you need to get anesthesia for anything you get done. If you say it kept me awake for part of it, and he's just like, nah. I'm like, who are you over there?
He's drinking that Jack. You hear who Bob is?
He has his wife drop him off. He's just completely shit-faced.
That's right. That's right.
I had knee surgery many years ago, and I asked the doctor if he could just localize it so I could watch it on camera with him. He thought I was insane. No, you're going out. But you're going out. I said, okay. Out I went.
I mean, knock my ass out. I'm a big crybaby when it comes to that stuff. Give me as much pain med as you can. Knock my ass out.
OBM's awfully quiet. Somebody wire his jaw shut tonight?
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
What's going on over there? You have to have a question for him. I mean, everyone else is asking me a question.
You know, I got to ask you this right now, and that is the Adrian Peterson thing going back, 6 months here, obviously. How close do you think we were to maybe AP sitting in Dallas? And, my gut feeling was that if Gurley would have been there at number 11, that the Vikings were going to go with Gurley there. And it didn't happen. The Rams got him, and the rest was history. But do you think that the Vikings were close to dealing AP at any point? And if so, was he indeed going to Dallas, or did you hear something else crazy? Maybe he was heading somewhere else that no one else really thought of. So just kind of curious to hear your thoughts on that now after the fact.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to speak on that after the fact. I mean, first of all, I'm happy everything worked out and he can continue his career at the Vikings, because that's really the way it should be. The NFL and the scenarios that played out really were not fair to Peterson. I mean, really put the Vikings and his career in jeopardy, which, was fair to neither him or the team. But, I mean, when you look back on the situation, I think it was very real that Peterson wanted out of Minnesota. I think there's no way to sugarcoat that. The reasons for why he wanted out of Minnesota may have been a little different than the media portrayed. It wasn't so much that the Vikings weren't willing to work with him, but it was more so really that he wanted a fresh start elsewhere, that he didn't think he was going to get in Minnesota, which I think the Vikings ended up playing their cards about right and phrased things and kind of pushed things over like he was getting a new start here, kind of restructuring his contract a little bit and saying, hey, you're coming back in kind of as you've missed a year, but not saying like you've been out on suspension, really just kind of letting him phase back into what we're doing here, because we're trying to build something pretty special. But as for how close we were to trading him, Dallas had an offer on the table. I mean, the Vikings were never offered a first-round pick, first of all. And I think the Vikings really would have only considered dealing Peterson if they got something that honestly blew them away. From the beginning, I think the team wanted him back. I think that Zimmer had a lot to say in the positive categories for why he wanted Peterson to be back in Minnesota. But when it comes down to it, I mean, the Vikings had offers, nothing really paid in excess of what he was worth to the Vikings. So, yeah, here we are today, still on the team, and I mean, leading the charge is a 30-year-old running back.
I remember on the board there was a lot of discussion about this, and there were quite a few people who were pretty vocal and pissed off at what AP was saying and wanted him out of Minnesota. And I was one of the ones who just felt that he was a Minnesota, Viking for life, or till the end of his career. I mean, he's just one of those guys. I've met the guy. The guy's a class act, and what happened. I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I wouldn't do it to my kid, obviously, but the bottom line is he apologized for it, and obviously the Vikings talked to him, and I'm glad he's a Viking. I hope he finishes his career here, and I hope he wins the rushing title this year, and better yet, like Bob said, let's win the fucking Super Bowl, because he deserves one.
Absolutely he does. So do we. So do we, baby. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, I got a topic to throw out there. We're going to head back to this Vikings-Raiders game for a second. I want your guys' take. Is the Raiders' offense as good as the media makes it out to be?
The media are Georgia Vike.
Both. Well, you're biased. You have a market brand. You have the entire Raiders offense on your fantasy team. Of course, you want the Raiders offense to do well.
Hey,
well, actually, in your shoes, maybe not. But
no, I don't. I'm praying for. I want a 1 point loss against Wetlander this week. I want to lose by 1.
But
The suck for luck tour.
Basically, he's going for that number 1 overall pick.
I am.
But,
as far as your question about the Raiders, are they as good as the media is saying they are? I don't think they're that good. I think their offense is vastly improved. They're getting a lot of attention from being so shitty the last few years to actually, you know what? They have a decent offense. They have some decent weapons. A couple of young guys out there, of the running back, quarterback, wide receiver, and Mac on the defense. Woodson getting up there in age, but their defense is still so poor overall that I don't think they're as great as they're advertised to be, but they can put some points on the board and hurt you in a lot of ways. So I'm not quite
there.
I'm not quite on the bandwagon yet, like sitting there going, yeah, Oakland's back, but they're a decent team. So they're not something you want to overlook, but at the same time, I'm not putting them in the same categories I put Denver in or Cincinnati in. No way. No, yeah,
those are the exact 2 examples I was going to give. I mean, week 1 against the Bengals, they put up 13 points. Week 5 against the Broncos, they put up 10 points. I mean, every time they've gone against a borderline elite defense, they've struggled. I mean, there's actually a lot of similarities between the Vikings and the Bengals defense to begin with. And I'm sure
what?
Zimmer will have what? Where the heck did that come from? I'm sure Zimmer will have a little bit of an inside scoop on what the Bengals did to them a little bit as well. But to go against that, I'm sure the Raiders will be watching the tape on that game all week as well.
You're watching tape now too. You can go work for Tampa Bay. Is that what you're telling me?
What are you, Wesley Frazier?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get back. No. I've already watched the tape. Let me get back to you. Let me get back to you after I watch the tape.
I think Wesley Frazier would still be watching the tape from last week's game to see which way the wind was blowing.
Hey, let's not be too hard on Leslie Frazier. Great guy. He's a great guy.
So I am onto something here, I believe.
Hey, great guys finish last, right?
Yep.
Question for you guys. What do you guys think about the hit on Bridgewater last week? Do you think he was faking it when he got knocked out?
No, he was out.
No, he was out. He went limp.
Exactly. I have to say that. Some guy questioned me on Facebook this week. It's like, no, he was fake. And then I called it, like before the play even happened. I'm like, dude, shut up, man. Just shut up.
Yeah, it's one of the better fakes I've ever seen if it was true.
Yeah, exactly. He got knocked out cold. He didn't move. That's amazing.
I think California actor has his card now.
That's right. Exactly.
Who's actually on the field? Was it Teddy or CA actor Mike over there?
But, that hit, a lot of people say, oh, he couldn't have changed direction. Everyone's like, if you break it down, well, that was slow motion. I don't care if it's slow motion or not. You could see he was lined up to hit him square. And all of a sudden, he seen him slide and went down, leading with that shoulder. I'm not saying he intended to knock his ass out, but I think he intended to inflict some pain there on that. That's my opinion.
Well,
yeah, but I would agree with you, man. He could have pulled that elbow back. I thought his elbow hit him, but yeah, I think it was clearly intentional. And if you look back, didn't Teddy get hit in the knee? That there's another play where he got whacked in the knee, and I'll tell you what, Greg Williams, like Zimmer said, I mean, if that would have been out in the normal field, I think Zimmer and Jeff Fisher and Greg Williams would have been brawling, because you saw Zimmer come off the sideline. He was livid, and rightfully so. I mean, to me, it was a dirty play, absolutely, and I'm glad the NFL fined him. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get suspended, but maybe a kick in the ass and $23,000 or whatever it was will, hopefully stop that. But this is a guy who ran Bountygate, for God's sake. So yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Zimmer here. It was questionable at the very least.
The play on the knee was the series before that too, so I didn't think that made things. The memory is short on that. For Zimmer is pretty fresh, I should say, when that shot came to the head there. But as you were saying, Greg Williams, after the Bountygate thing, I have no love for that guy, and I'm surprised he's still in the league. And Jeff Fisher, even being part of the competition committee, I'm not sure how in the hell he's part of the competition committee when his team always has penalties like this. It's mind-boggling to me.
He's the example.
One other thing to throw out there, guys, is don't forget Zimmer wasn't even here when Bounty Gate happened. So that tells you that these guys around the league have probably sat around the bar and chit-chatted about some of the bullshit that went on during that game in New Orleans that year. So pretty interesting that he you go back and watch that press conference. I'll tell you what, he was hot. He was not a happy camper. And you start taking cheap shots at quarterbacks like that, you're going to start pissing people off real quick in the league.
Isn't that what you want, though? This coach loves his team. I mean, that's what you're looking for. I hope he is hot. If he wasn't hot, if he was said, we'll have to look at it on tape or by other means of that. I mean, if I was a player in the locker room, I'd be pretty pissed off.
He's everything we've looked for. He's everything we look for in a coach for years. Some guy with, Tice had, would open up his mouth and shout, but Zimmer actually, he has that confidence when he's chewing someone's ass. Everyone believes it. Everyone's behind him when he's doing it, rather than being a mush mouth like Tice was. Zimmer is the coach of our dreams. I'm glad he's here. What was that, OBM?
Well, I was just saying Frazier was the same way. I mean, you think about that news conference the other day, and I just think of how Frazier would have handled it. It would have been the complete polar opposite of how Zimmer handled it. So, we'd have gotten the bullshit company line from Frazier and, just his attitude in general. I mean, I look at Zimmer, and that guy's a player's coach. I mean, the players respect him. It's pretty obvious that people respect him around the league. I mean, you go on PFT and you see a post about the Vikings, and half the people in there are former Bengal fans saying, hey, we miss you, Zim. I mean, this guy is respected around the league. So when he did that, I don't think anybody looked differently at him. In fact, he probably gained a lot of respect around the league for having the balls to call him out and say it. So I thought it was great. It was refreshing. It was something different than we're used to. And I think Zimmer is just perfect coach for this team right now. I can't say enough good things about the guy.
Have to agree.
Agreed.
Ask another question to you guys. Do you think Zimmer is questioning at all the Norv Turner as his offensive coordinator thing with the way the offense is kind of playing out here? I know Zimmer would never come out and publicly admit it or say anything about it, but you can kind of see his frustration, like as Norv's calling plays, you can tell Zimmer's like, I'd be blowing this offense up if I was playing against it. Anyone else seeing that besides me?
I disagree. I disagree because this team is built to run the ball and chew the clock and keep the defense fresh.
What was that play then with Scrappy McBackup?
Yeah, we did that. We talked about it a while ago.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think?
But I think Zimmer's in on that play though as well.
To me personally, with that play there, if you're gonna try to run something like that, try it on third down. Don't try it on first down. Right there. It's just, if you have like a long yardage, like a 3rd and 13, try something like that then. But even then, at that point in the game, I probably would have ran the ball. All 3 downs, run the ball. And that just, the run on first down and that play just had me going, what the F? What's going on here, man?
All right, but if it had worked, would you sit there, wow, Turner's a genius?
No, I wouldn't have said he's a genius, even at that point. It's, the only thing I thought was like, oh my God, what they're throwing on first down? What? When they started out the game with the pass on first down, it blew my mind. Then seeing that, I was like, what the hell are they doing here? They run it 99% of the time they're running on a first down this year, and they go to try some stupid pass play on first down with a backup quarterback. He's got no sync with his receivers, nothing whatsoever. I don't know if is it just me? I rather had Heineke back there. Is that how you enunciate his name? Pardon me if I'm destroying his name. Than Sean Hill back there. Sean Hill's, sit on the bench, just collect your paycheck, bring in the young guy for the backup. You're not any better than him. But it was just to me, that was just a poor call at a very crucial time in that game.
To be honest, if I was the offensive coordinator, when they tried to pass the ball, I wasn't all that surprised. I mean, you get a first down there on, with however much was on the clock, whatever it was left on the clock, I mean, the game's over. So I think Zim's in on the call because he's aggressive by nature. I mean, if you think you can get a first down on that play, game over. I mean, and even if you look back at past Vikings teams, I mean, Sean Hill's smart enough and designed the play and let him know before you go out there. I mean, if it's not there, you fall on it. I mean, we want him to burn a timeout. So, I mean, when all is said and done, great play call. No, because it didn't work. But him falling on the ball, letting the clock run, I mean, smart move. Ended up working out. I mean, you can't blame him all that much.
The one call I thought that, he'll say if it works, you're going to call him, a genius. It was the overtime call with the windows we talked about before. That was the one call I said there went, all right, man, he's got some balls here. He's got some confidence in the deep. Good. Okay. To me, that's a call that, if it works, it doesn't work, whatever. But that the reason I question the other calls is because it happened on first down. You're trying that on first down. You try to, clock, run the clock a little bit more before you try a play like that. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a two-way street. No one's going to be right or wrong in that discussion.
All right. OBM, you got another question for him?
But, I got one thing I wanted to add about this Raiders team that I just stumbled upon here. That's pretty interesting. I think we were talking earlier about if the Raiders offense is maybe a little overrated, but one thing that's impressive here, Carr has only been sacked 8 times this year. 8 times, and their old line is ranked in the top 8. Pretty much, every metric out there that you can measure. So, that's going to be an interesting battle right there. Carr versus and their old line versus our defense line. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that plays out. And of course, the deep ball with Carr compared to Teddy. I mean, that is one area of concern I still have with Teddy, and we've all had it since about, week 2, is he's missing with Wallace. And that to me is still a big area of concern because we are settling right now for a lot of field goals, it seems. So, I'm hoping that we kind of turn this around and Teddy and Wallace can start hooking up because just off the top of my head, I can remember 3 throws where Teddy missed Wallace and they would have been touchdowns, and instead they were all field goals. So, I think that's going to be a big part, play a big part in this week's game. Are we going to settle for 3, or are we going to be scoring touchdowns? So, it's a concern, but it's something that, if we want to go to the playoffs or if we want to go to the Super Bowl, it's something that we're going to have to overcome, I think. And so I was just curious to see what Drew thought. You look at the Vikings draft and the Raiders draft last year, and they took a quarterback in round 2, Carr at pick 36, and they took Khalil Mack at pick 5 or 4, and we took Anthony Barr at pick whatever it was, 9 or whatever, and we took Bridgewater at 31 or 32. So you look at both these teams, Drew, and I'm just curious, but it seems like there's some similarities. And to this point, how would you rate the Carr versus Bridgewater, as far as those guys are? Right now, if you could redo the draft, would you take Carr over Bridgewater? What are your thoughts on that? Just curious.
Based on how our offense is designed, I prefer Bridgewater based on what we're trying to do. I mean, I think Carr's a great quarterback, nothing against him, but based on the system that we're in, I mean, our offense isn't designed to just spread them out and throw the ball around the field. I mean, the Raiders want to do that. I mean, more power to them. I mean, they have the receivers to do it, and they've surrounded Carr with the talent to do that. But in our offense, to be able to just run the ball and move the chains, kind of mythology. Yeah, whatever. But just be able to move the ball, over and over again. Just kind of move the chains. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is probably the better quarterback than that. But, I mean, both have very high positive outlooks in the league moving forward.
Well, I think last week the Vikings played their twin brother. I think this week they're playing their stepbrother. Raiders are built similarly, but nowhere near like the Rams are. My opinion.
I think that the Raiders are a lot better team on offense than the Rams are, but, I don't know. I'm still thinking that we're gonna go ass kick 34-17.
All right, guys. Anybody have anything else?
Nope, sounds like where's the monsoon coming from, Bob?
Oh, BM laugh makes me laugh.
It's people talking here. I'm like, what the fuck? Now it's gone. Then all of a sudden, it comes back and it gets louder and louder. Like, where the hell is that coming from?
Forecast calls for rain.
Yeah. So is my bedroom tonight. Yeah.
I thought you were going to make a hail in there.
No, that's a strip club. I go with my wig vouchers and my pennies, yo. Wow.
You kidding me?
Yeah, the first time you went to doing that, they didn't invite you back.
I go to the strip joint with a roll of pennies. And I got 100 up in here. 100 pennies, yo. Ow. You know, yeah.
Quantity over quality, that's what they always say, right?
That's right. You ever been hit with copper? You ever been hit with copper? That's right.
Now, if you say copper in the strip club, they're all going to run for the back.
That's right. That's right. Good call. 5-0, yo. 5-0, yo. Yeah.
Popo.
That's right. Popo. I'm going to call the law. I'm going to call the police. Yeah. All right, Bob, end this call. Are we done here? Well, we got to sign up. Don't end it. We got to sign up, don't we?
All right, guys. That concludes our show this week. No, I was not drunk. I'm just jacked up. I really believe in this team. And looking forward to Sunday's game against the Raiders. And just wait until next week against the Packers. Everybody at home, thank you for listening. We enjoy and appreciate all you do for us. Keep those comments coming. Guys, say goodnight.
No, I'm not saying goodnight to anyone anymore. It's good morning now. Okay? Or, actually, hey, it still is night here. Holy Hannah. God, I love this place. No, good night, everyone. No.